All right, time to get back into deciphering the world that they stole away from us. All we're trying to do here is we're trying to remember. In order to remember, we need to remember our world, what they did, so that we know what the hell it is, so that we know where we are. Because if you don't know where you are, you don't know where you're going. I think this is an Atlantean throne. And I don't even think anybody can even sit on that throne. I think you have to have a certain DNA to even sit on that throne. But let's get it going. So as you all know, our geologists were lied to us. They're obviously part of a secret order, because if they weren't, they would have told us about all of these beautiful structures here. Because if you ask them, they're going to tell you somehow, some way, that's made out of erosion. And we now know from watching my videos, there's no such thing as mountains. Mountains are ancient trees. That automatically means when you see something like that, it was blasted by high heat. And you have to understand something. This is how every single Tartarian structure would look if it actually caught fire. Only caught fire. It would be black and it would be scorched. It would never be damaged at all. You would still be able to see it. That's why when they try and tell you, oh, there was these fires during the World Fairs, no, they blew those buildings up. Again, I'll get to those in another video. Peep this. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the pockets here. All of this is melted. Everything you're looking at here is melted. They melted all of this. But they missed that. And they missed his here. Look at that. Look at how this brick is warped. Look at that. You can tell these bricks right here were on their way to being melted. And then the beam went on. Like the beam came, it was like bzzz. By the time it was done, the beam just moved on. Otherwise, it would have melted that too. You got to ask yourself, where did that come from? Simple questions. How and or why is it just kind of there in the rock like that? Brick shouldn't be there at all, but it is. And then look at the rest of the rock. Look at it. Melted. Look at those. Those aren't mountains. Those aren't canyons. It wasn't anything geological. The planet had nothing to do with that. Those are buildings. Huge buildings that were blasted. And after they were blasted, they were left to petrify. Take a look at this. Look at the cuts. Right angles, right angles, right angles, right angles. As if somebody came in here, look at that, and cut this out. Look at those. These are right angles. Right angles. This is not erosion. Water doesn't make right angles. That was cut and gutted and excavated. Now take a look here. Basically what you're looking at right now is you're looking at a petrified city. An ancient Tartarian petrified city. It's all petrified. They just blasted it with high heat radiation. Look at that. Now, if you didn't know any better and you didn't have any new eyes, you'd look and you'd see the landscape and you would just think, man, those mountains look, they shape weird. Oh, they shape funny. It must be from, salt, erosion. It's always erosion. Erosion doesn't make things go up equally in an even peak. That's not erosion. Look at that. That's like panning in a movie. It looked like you coming into a beautiful city, but somebody petrified them up. So most of what you think is a mountain is not a mountain, it's a tree. And look at that. That's a statue. There's a statue right there. It's a statue. That's a statue. Look at that. A city.
We're at the famous, well, the pseudo-famous melted brick wall, Sutro Heights, San Francisco. I've already found a stamped brick with ARR, and we know that what used to be there said T, car. It's TCARR. Look at this. You can see that there are still fully intact bricks in what is otherwise fully melted, like that one right there. Much of it is melted beyond recognition, but a lot of it, like this, is still obviously a wall. Now, how old is this tree? How long ago did this happen? It's all brick, and it's all melted down like as if it was candle wax hit with a blowtorch. It's like flowing down channels of melted bricks. Like right there, look at that. Still bricks sitting there, and that's the same kind of brick that this is, that's stamped.
And the funny thing is, I looked at this spot right here in Arizona, and I wanted to figure out where the water was coming from, because now if we know all mountains used to be ancient trees, that means that the water's coming out of the mountain. So this one just ended up here. That went up there, and then that just ended. And then the stream went down here. The common denominator was right here. And what was right there in the middle? This Oak Creek place. And so this was all an ancient tree, and that's why the water's still pumping out of here. Water still pumping out of there. That's an ancient tree you're looking at. Big, huge, petrified tree. And then I was like wondering if there was any significance to like this area and mining. Because when you look at something like that, you have to ask yourself, look straight down. You see that? 90 degrees. Got a 90-degree angle there. And then look right here. Swoop. Right up. This was mined out of here. So I said to myself, let me go check something out real quick. I said, which one of our states have this red rock? Because, you know, who knows? This red rock could be valuable. And I only look for red rock because right here, it said, you know, iron minerals, oxidized, rust. I said, how's it formed? And it's like, look, iron on Earth originated from ancient supernova events. Without oxygen, iron could dissolve in water, contributing to the red color. So I'm like, supernova, high heat blast. So what part of our country had the high heat blast? Because where there's high heat blasts, you get iron. So then that's when I came to this page. And then as you look here, you know, Red Rock, State Park, Sedona, you got Utah, you got Nevada. And then I said, what are like the top 3-4 places that they're mining in the United States? Arizona, Nevada. Do y'all see what's going on here? Do y'all see what's going on here? I'm giving you new eyes. You don't even need to be a geologist anymore. All you need to do is understand what causes certain elements or alchemy to occur in the earth. Something like a plasma blast. Something like that. From the sky, blasting you. And after the blast is done, there's really nothing left. Nothing left. Deserts aren't natural. None of this is natural. Somebody, somewhere, fried all of our beautiful shit. They fried it. But that's all good, because we're coming back online. Because when the mind's blind, the eyes can't see,